Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to share something with you that has the power to completely transform your life, not just temporarily, but permanently. It's a simple principle that, when applied every single day, can create unstoppable momentum in your life. The key is listening to empowering messages to your inner drive and to the call for more that's already inside you. What is the first thing you focus on when you wake up each day? Is it your to-do list, your phone, or maybe the stress of the day ahead? What if I told you that what you listen to, what you focus on first thing in the morning could either set you up for success or sabotage your day? That's how powerful this is. Imagine for a moment that every day you could listen to something that strengthens your belief in yourself. Every day you could remind yourself of the power, the energy, and the potential within you. And I'm not talking about once in a while, I'm talking about every single day. Why is daily repetition so critical? Because repetition is the mother of skill. If you want to develop an unshakable mindset, if you want to change your life, you have to feed your mind with empowering beliefs every day. You see, your mind is like a garden. If you don't plant positive, nurturing seeds, weeds will grow by default. Negative thoughts, doubts, fears, those are the weeds. But when you choose to fill your mind daily with messages of strength, courage, and confidence, you take control of that garden. Now, some of you might be thinking, I've tried this before and it didn't work. Let me tell you something, the reason it didn't work is that change doesn't happen overnight. It's not about listening to one inspirational message and expecting your life to change. It's about building the habit of feeding your mind daily so those messages become embedded in your subconscious and they start to shape your actions. What's holding most people back from living the life they dream of are not external circumstances, it's the limiting beliefs they've accepted about themselves, the story they've been telling themselves for years. I'm not smart enough, I'm not good enough, I don't have the time, or I'll never be able to do that. But what if I told you those are just stories? They're not the truth. The truth is, you are capable of far more than you've ever imagined. The truth is, your beliefs shape your reality, and the beautiful part is, you have the power to change those beliefs starting today. So how do you change your beliefs? By what you listen to and focus on every day. You see, you can't just listen to empowering messages once and expect it to stick. You have to listen to it daily. You have to immerse yourself in it. Because when you do, it shifts your mindset. It begins to erase those limiting beliefs and replace them with empowering ones. You'll start believing in your potential and your ability to achieve whatever you set your mind to. But belief alone isn't enough. It's what you do with that belief that matters. You have to take massive action. You have to take what you've listened to, what you've learned, and put it into practice. Every single day. Take steps toward your goals. Make the calls, write the plan, get up early, stay late, whatever it takes to turn your dreams into reality. Because action is where transformation happens. What you focus on expands. Focus on your goals, focus on your vision, focus on progress, not perfection. Too many people get distracted by what's not working or what they don't have. But if you focus on solutions, on possibilities, on what you can do right now, you'll start to see opportunities where others see obstacles. Emotions drive actions. If you want to create lasting change in your life, you need to control and harness your emotions. That's why what you listen to and absorb every day is so important. It shapes your emotional state. When you feel empowered, energized, and inspired, you take action. When you feel doubtful, fearful, or stuck, you hold back. So make it a daily practice to fill your mind and your emotions with energy and belief. In the end, it all comes down to consistency. The people who achieve extraordinary success aren't necessarily the smartest, the luckiest, or the most talented. They are the ones who consistently take small actions toward their goals, day in and day out, no matter what. Listen to this message every day. Listen to it until it becomes a part of you. And then watch what happens to your life. Watch as the little things start to shift, the small wins pile up, and your confidence grows. And watch as the momentum builds. Because when you commit to changing your mindset, when you take consistent action, and when you focus on your vision, you will change your life, not someday, today. The most profound changes in life begin with a shift in mindset. If you want to change your life, the first step isn't external, it's internal. It's about changing the way you think, perceive, and believe. Everything you experience, everything you achieve or don't achieve starts in your mind. Your thoughts are the architects of your reality. That's why a mindset shift is not just important, it's essential. You see, most people live their lives based on patterns of thinking that they've carried for years, often without realizing it. These patterns are shaped by their upbringing, past experiences, fears, and even the limitations society places on them. If you're not conscious of it, these patterns will dictate how you see the world and yourself. And the problem with this is that many of these patterns are based on fear, doubt, and limitation. They confine your potential and keep you stuck in the same place, repeating the same mistakes, experiencing the same frustrations. To create a true and lasting transformation, you have to begin by questioning the thoughts that dominate your mind. Ask yourself, are these thoughts empowering me or are they limiting me? Are they propelling me forward or are they holding me back? Because the moment you become aware of your thoughts and start questioning them, you begin to unlock the power to change them. The key to a mindset shift is recognizing that your thoughts are not facts, they are just that, thoughts. and you get to choose which ones to hold on to and which ones to let go of. When you shift your mindset, you stop accepting the narrative that life has written for you, and you begin to write your own. You stop telling yourself, I can't do this, or this is impossible, and start asking, how can I make this happen? But a mindset shift goes deeper than simply thinking positively. It's about changing the core beliefs that drive your behavior. Many people believe they're not capable of greatness because they've accepted limiting beliefs as truth. They've accepted the idea that they're not smart enough, not talented enough, or not deserving enough. These beliefs act like a glass ceiling, capping their potential. True transformation happens when you break through that ceiling and start to realize that those beliefs are nothing more than illusions. They're the stories you've been telling yourself based on past failures, fears, or other people's opinions. A mindset shift allows you to challenge those stories and replace them with new, empowering ones. One of the most powerful realizations you can have is that you are not your past. Your past mistakes, failures, or circumstances do not define you. When you shift your mindset, you see that every setback you've experienced is a lesson, not a limitation. You begin to understand that the only thing that can hold you back is the belief that you can't move forward. You stop seeing obstacles as problems and start seeing them as opportunities. When you change your mindset, you realize that challenges are not roadblocks, but stepping stones to growth. Instead of being overwhelmed by fear or doubt, you begin to see each challenge as a way to test your strength, refine your skills, and push you closer to your goals. This is a fundamental shift from a mindset of scarcity and limitation to a mindset of abundance and possibility. In a fixed mindset, people believe their abilities and intelligence are static, they are what they are, and there's no changing it. But in a growth mindset, you understand that you can develop any skill, improve any ability, and achieve any goal with enough effort, learning, and persistence. The growth mindset is the foundation of all great achievements. When you truly believe that you can grow, you become unstoppable. You see setbacks as temporary, and you view every failure as a stepping stone towards success. It affects how you view others and the world around you. You stop comparing yourself to others, realizing that everyone is on their own unique path. Instead of feeling threatened by other people's success, you're inspired by it because you know that success is not a limited resource. There's enough to go around, and their success doesn't diminish yours, it enhances the possibilities for everyone. Shifting your mindset also means shifting how you see time and progress. Most people get frustrated when they don't see immediate results and they give up. But when you've made a mindset shift, you understand that real success is a long-term gain. You learn to be patient with yourself, recognizing that progress isn't always visible in the moment, but accumulates over time. You start to value consistency and effort over quick wins. Another key aspect of a mindset shift is emotional resilience. When you operate from a fixed mindset, you tend to get overwhelmed by negative emotions, fear, doubt, frustration, and those emotions stop you in your tracks. But when you've shifted your mindset, you develop emotional intelligence. You understand that while you can't control what happens to you, you can always control how you respond. You start to realize that emotions are temporary and you don't have to act on them. Instead, you learn to process them and move forward with clarity and purpose no matter what's going on around you. The most powerful shift happens when you begin to trust yourself. So many people doubt their own abilities and seek validation from others, but when you've shifted your mindset, you stop looking outside for approval and start trusting your own intuition. You know that you are capable of making the right decisions for your life. You start to realize that no one else has the power to dictate your path or your success, you do. Ultimately, the greatest mindset shift is the realization that you have the power to create your reality. You are not at the mercy of circumstances, luck, or other people. You are the creator of your life, and every thought, belief, and action you take shapes your future. When you make this shift, you stop waiting for life to happen to you and start making life happen for you. That is the essence of transformation, and it all begins in your mind. Limiting beliefs are the invisible chains that hold people back from realizing their full potential. These are the beliefs that whisper in your ear, you can't do that, or that's not for someone like you. They create mental barriers that make you believe that certain goals are out of reach, that you are somehow unworthy, or that your abilities are fixed and finite. Breaking these limiting beliefs is one of the most crucial steps toward personal growth and lasting success. These beliefs often stem from early experiences, things we've been told by others, or moments where we've encountered failure or rejection. Maybe it was a teacher who said you weren't good enough, or a parent who imposed their own fears on you. Perhaps it was a single setback that made you conclude that trying again wasn't worth it. Over time, these moments crystallize into beliefs about who you are and what you're capable of. And while these beliefs may feel real, they are not truths. They are perceptions that can be challenged, reshaped, and ultimately broken. To break limiting beliefs, the first step is awareness. Most people carry these beliefs unconsciously. They accept them as the way things are without ever questioning them. The first step is to become aware of the beliefs that are controlling your life. Start to listen to the internal dialogue that plays in your mind when you think about your goals or desires. What do you tell yourself about your abilities? What excuses do you make when faced with a challenge? What fears arise when you contemplate taking a bold step forward? Once you become aware of these beliefs, the next step is to question their validity. Ask yourself, where did this belief come from? Is it based on fact, or is it a story I've been telling myself? For example, if you believe I'm not smart enough to succeed in this field, trace that belief back to its origin. Was there a single incident where you failed and you've been carrying that failure with you ever since, or did someone tell you this and you simply accepted their judgment as truth? When you begin to examine these beliefs closely, you often find that they are not based on objective reality, but on emotional experiences, assumptions, or other people's opinions. Breaking limiting beliefs also requires challenging the idea of permanence. Limiting beliefs often come with a sense of finality, as though they define who you are permanently. But the truth is, nothing about you is fixed. You are constantly evolving, learning, and growing. Just because you failed at something once, or even several times, doesn't mean you're destined to fail forever. Believing that your abilities and qualities are malleable allows you to open yourself up to new possibilities. You start to see that you're capable of far more than you've previously allowed yourself to believe. A powerful way to break limiting beliefs is through evidence to the contrary. If you believe you can't achieve something, one of the most effective ways to dismantle that belief is to gather proof that shows otherwise. This doesn't mean you need massive successes right away. It can start small. Every time you push yourself out of your comfort zone and succeed, even in a minor way, you begin to chip away at that limiting belief. Over time, these small wins accumulate and build momentum, creating a new belief that you are capable, that you can succeed, that you have what it takes. But breaking limiting beliefs doesn't happen just through logic or thought exercises. It also requires action. One of the most effective ways to break through a limiting belief is by taking action that directly contradicts it. If you believe you're not good enough to pursue a certain career, the best way to challenge that belief is by taking steps toward that goal anyway. Sign up for that class, apply for that job, start that business. The action itself will start to dismantle the belief because it creates new experiences that directly conflict with the old narrative you've been telling yourself. The more you act in spite of your limiting beliefs, the weaker they become. Another key to breaking limiting beliefs is to replace them with empowering beliefs. It's not enough to simply identify and challenge the negative beliefs. You have to fill that space with new, positive, and empowering ones. For example, instead of believing I'm not smart enough, replace it with I am constantly learning and growing, and I have the ability to master any skill I set my mind to. These new beliefs should be grounded in possibility and growth, not limitation. They should reflect the reality that you are capable of evolving, improving, and achieving more than you ever thought possible. It's also important to understand that breaking limiting beliefs is not a one-time event, it's an ongoing process. Limiting beliefs are deeply ingrained, and they often resurface when you encounter new challenges or push yourself to new levels.
Each time they arise, it's an opportunity to reaffirm your new beliefs and strengthen them. Over time, your new, empowering beliefs will become the dominant ones, and your old limiting beliefs will lose their grip on you.
Surrounding yourself with people who challenge and inspire you is another powerful way to break limiting beliefs. Often our beliefs are shaped by the people we spend the most time with.
If you are constantly around people who doubt themselves, complain about their circumstances, or settle for less, their mindset can influence yours.
On the other hand, if you surround yourself with people who think big, push their limits, and believe in their potential, you'll start to absorb their mindset as well. Seeing others break through their own limitations can inspire you to do the same. Ultimately, breaking limiting beliefs is about reclaiming your power. It's about recognizing that you are not at the mercy of your past, your circumstances, or other people's opinions. You are in control of your beliefs and therefore in control of your destiny. The moment you decide to break through these mental barriers, your world opens up. You realize that the only thing standing between you and the life you want is the belief that you can't have it. When you remove that belief, you become unstoppable. It's important to remember that everyone has limiting beliefs at some point. It's part of being human. But the people who achieve great things in life are not the ones who never have doubts. They are the ones who recognize those doubts for what they are and choose to push past them. They understand that the only limits that truly exist are the ones they place on themselves. And when you break those limits, you create a new reality, one where anything is possible. Taking massive action is the key that unlocks potential and turns dreams into reality. It's the difference between wishing for something and actually making it happen. Many people have big dreams, lofty goals, and great ideas, but what sets successful people apart is their willingness to take relentless, consistent, and bold action toward those goals. Taking massive action is not about doing the bare minimum or waiting for the perfect conditions. It's about moving forward with intensity, focus, and persistence, even when things are uncertain or difficult. When you take massive action, you don't just dabble in your goals, you commit fully. You stop waiting for inspiration or motivation to strike and instead create your own momentum by constantly moving forward. One of the most common reasons people don't reach their potential is that they hesitate, overthink, or wait for everything to align perfectly. But the truth is, there will never be a perfect time. Conditions will rarely be ideal, and if you wait for all the stars to align before taking action, you may wait forever. Taking massive action means acting in spite of the imperfections, in spite of the fear, and in spite of the uncertainty. It's about radically changing your approach if necessary. It's about pushing the boundaries of what you thought was possible and stepping far outside your comfort zone. It requires you to operate at a level of intensity and focus that many people are simply not willing to reach. That's why so few people achieve extraordinary success. Most aren't willing to take the kind of massive, all-in action that success demands. This kind of action is not just about working harder, though effort is a key component. It's about being strategic and intelligent in how you work. It involves constant learning, adjusting, and improving as you move toward your goal. Taking massive action requires that you assess what's working and what's not, and then make bold changes without hesitation. It's not enough to just be busy. You have to be productive and intentional in your actions. One of the barriers to massive action is fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, and fear of uncertainty can paralyze you, keeping you stuck in place. But when you decide to take massive action, you make a conscious choice to move forward, despite that fear. In fact, massive action is often the antidote to fear. The more you act, the less power fear has over you. Fear thrives in inaction and indecision, but once you start moving, even small actions can create a sense of empowerment and confidence. It's about building momentum. Once you take the first step, the next one becomes easier, and before long, you're moving toward your goal with unstoppable force. It's important to understand that massive action often leads to mistakes and failures along the way. But here's the thing, failure is not a stop sign. It's feedback. When you take massive action, you're willing to fail fast and fail forward. You don't let setbacks derail you. Instead, you use them as opportunities to learn, adjust, and keep going. Every failure contains a lesson, and every lesson brings you closer to your goal. People who take massive action aren't afraid of making mistakes because they know that mistakes are part of the journey to success. They understand that the only real failure is in not trying. Another critical aspect of massive action is persistence. Massive action is not a one-time effort, it's a sustained, consistent push toward your goal. Many people start strong but give up when they hit their first roadblock or don't see immediate results. But taking massive action means continuing to push, even when things aren't going your way. It's about being relentless, not just in your effort, but in your belief that success is possible. You keep going because you know that the only way to guarantee failure is to quit. Massive action also requires resilience. The road to success is rarely a straight line. There will be obstacles, setbacks, and challenges that test your resolve. When you take massive action, you develop the mental and emotional toughness to keep going when others would give up. You train yourself to handle pressure, uncertainty, and adversity with a sense of purpose. This resilience comes from the understanding that the path to success is supposed to be difficult. It's the challenges that shape you into the person who can achieve your dreams. It's also important to realize that massive action often involves doing things that others are not willing to do. Most people operate within a comfort zone, doing just enough to get by or stay afloat. But massive action requires you to break through that zone and do what's necessary, even if it's uncomfortable. It might mean working longer hours, making sacrifices, or taking risks that others would shy away from. It might mean enduring criticism or rejection from those who don't understand your vision. But when you're committed to taking massive action, you're willing to do whatever it takes because you know that the reward is worth the effort. In taking massive action, you also take responsibility for your results. You stop blaming external factors for your lack of progress and realize that you are in control of your destiny. People who take massive action don't waste time complaining about obstacles. They focus on finding solutions. They don't wait for opportunities to come to them. They create their own opportunities through consistent effort and determination. This level of ownership over your actions and outcomes is empowering because it puts you in the driver's seat of your life. Another key element of massive action is focus. It's not enough to work hard, you have to work smart. This means being laser focused on your goals and not allowing distractions to pull you off course. In today's world, there are countless distractions vying for your attention, from social media to everyday responsibilities. But those who take massive action are disciplined in how they manage their time and energy. They prioritize what's most important and eliminate or minimize anything that doesn't move them closer to their goals. This kind of focus requires clarity, knowing exactly what you want and why you want it, so you can channel all your efforts toward achieving it. Massive action also involves leveraging resources and people. It's not about doing everything on your own, but recognizing that collaboration and support can amplify your efforts. Successful people build networks, seek mentorship, and surround themselves with individuals who elevate them. They understand that taking massive action sometimes means asking for help, delegating tasks, and leveraging the skills and knowledge of others to accelerate progress. Finally, taking massive action is about commitment. It's a decision to go all in on your goals, to burn the boats, and not give yourself an option to retreat. It's about making a decision so powerful that failure is not an option. This level of commitment is what separates those who achieve extraordinary things from those who merely wish for them. It's a commitment to the process, knowing that success isn't guaranteed to be fast or easy, but will come as a result of unwavering determination. Taking massive action means being fully engaged in the pursuit of your goals every single day. It's not just about working harder, but about working with greater intensity, focus, and resilience. It's about refusing to settle for mediocrity and instead choosing to push yourself to new heights. When you take massive action, you stop waiting for life to happen to you and start creating the life you want. You become a force of nature, moving relentlessly toward your vision. And in doing so, you transform not just your circumstances, but yourself. Emotion is one of the most powerful forces driving human behavior. It has the ability to influence decisions, fuel motivation, and propel us into action, often more so than logic or reason. When we feel strongly about something, we are compelled to act on it. Whether it's the desire to achieve a goal, the fear of failure, or the excitement of new possibilities, emotion provides the energy and urgency that push us to move forward. At its core, emotion is a catalyst for change. Think about the moments in your life when you've made a major decision or taken a bold step. Chances are those moments were fueled by intense emotions, maybe frustration with your current circumstances, a burning desire to prove something to yourself, or a deep yearning for something more. When emotions reach a certain intensity, they override doubt and hesitation, making it almost impossible to stay still. You feel compelled to do something, to make a change, to act. This is because emotions create a sense of urgency. When you feel passionate about a goal or deeply dissatisfied with where you are, you don't want to wait, you want to take immediate action. The stronger the emotion, the more powerful the drive to act becomes. This is why people who are emotionally connected to their goals tend to achieve more. They're not just working towards something they should do, they're driven by something they deeply care about. They have an emotional investment that keeps them going, even when things get tough. Emotion also gives meaning to our actions. When we care deeply about something, the actions we take toward it feel more significant. They're not just tasks to check off a list, they're steps on a meaningful journey. This sense of purpose, fueled by emotion, keeps us engaged and committed over the long term. Without emotional investment, even the most logical or beneficial goals can feel hollow or unimportant, leading to procrastination or half-hearted effort. However, not all emotions drive us in positive directions. Fear, anger, and anxiety can also be powerful motivators, but they can push us toward avoidance or rash decisions if not managed properly. Fear, for example, can either paralyze you or drive you to take action depending on how you interpret and respond to it. If you view fear as a signal to retreat or avoid risk, it can keep you stuck. But if you see fear as a challenge to overcome, it can become a powerful motivator to push past your limits. In the same way, negative emotions like frustration or anger can drive action if they are channeled productively. Many people have achieved great things because they were angry about a situation in their life and decided to change it. Frustration can become fuel when it reaches a tipping point when you're so dissatisfied with the status quo that you can no longer tolerate it. At that moment, action becomes a necessity, not an option. The key is to direct these emotions toward constructive actions rather than letting them lead to impulsive or destructive behaviors. Positive emotions, on the other hand, are often the most sustainable sources of motivation. When you're excited about a vision or passionate about a vision or passionate about a cause, it becomes easier to stay committed. Joy, hope, love, and pride all create a sense of forward momentum. They make hard work feel worthwhile and challenges seem surmountable. When you're emotionally connected to what you're doing, the effort required doesn't feel like a burden, it feels like an investment in something you care about deeply. One of the most powerful positive emotions that drives action is a sense of purpose. When you believe that what you're doing matters not just to you, but to others or the world at large, you tap into a deeper reservoir of motivation. Purpose gives you the emotional resilience to keep going even in the face of obstacles or setbacks. It allows you to endure hardship because you know that your efforts are serving something bigger than yourself. But emotion doesn't just drive initial action, it sustains it over time. Many people start with enthusiasm only to burn out or lose interest when the excitement fades. This happens because they are relying on fleeting emotions like excitement or novelty to keep them going. To sustain action, you need deeper, more lasting emotional connections to your goals. This is where emotions like commitment, passion, and resilience come into play. When you're emotionally committed to something, you're not just interested in the outcome, you're invested in the process. You're willing to put in the work, even when it's hard, because the emotional reward of pursuing your goal is greater than the discomfort of the challenges you face along the way. Emotions also have a profound impact on the decisions we make in the moment. While we may think we're making decisions based on logic and reason, our emotions often have the final say. When we feel confident and optimistic, we're more likely to take bold risks or seize opportunities. When we feel fear or doubt, we tend to play it safe or avoid making decisions altogether. Understanding how emotions influence our choices is critical because it allows us to harness them in a way that serves our goals rather than allowing them to control us unconsciously. This is why emotional intelligence is so important when it comes to taking action. Emotional intelligence involves being aware of your emotions, understanding how they influence your behavior, and learning how to manage them effectively. It's not about suppressing emotions, but rather recognizing their power and channeling them toward productive action. For example, if you feel fear before taking on a big challenge, emotional intelligence allows you to acknowledge that fear, understand why it's there, and then take action anyway, rather than letting the fear hold you back. To harness emotion effectively, it's important to cultivate emotional states that are aligned with your goals. This can be done through visualization, positive self-talk, or even surrounding yourself with people and environments that inspire you. By deliberately creating emotional states that support your ambitions like confidence, excitement, and passion, you make it easier to take action. You can also use emotions to create rituals and habits that reinforce your goals. For instance, if you know that a certain song or routine puts you in a productive state of mind, use that as a trigger to initiate action. Another key aspect of emotion-driven action is the ability to tap into the emotions of others. Whether you're leading a team, inspiring a group, or even just trying to make a positive impact on someone's life, connecting with their emotions is crucial. People are more likely to follow someone who can make them feel something, whether it's hope, excitement, or a sense of shared purpose. When you can evoke emotion in others, you can inspire them to take action with you or for a shared goal. Ultimately, the strongest actions come from the deepest emotions. When you feel a profound connection to your goal, whether it's a personal mission, a desire for change, or a vision for the future, that emotion becomes an unstoppable force. It pulls you through adversity, pushes you beyond your limits, and keeps you moving forward when logic alone would tell you to stop. The power of emotion is that it doesn't just influence what you do, it shapes who you become in the process. They are the fuel that powers action. The key to achieving anything great is to recognize the role of emotion in your life and to learn how to harness it in a way that serves your highest ambitions. When you align your emotions with your actions, you tap into an inner force that makes even the most challenging goals possible. Consistency is the foundation of lasting success in any endeavor. It's not about grand gestures or sporadic bursts of effort. It's about showing up day in and day out and steadily moving toward your goal. While many people focus on the intensity of their actions, those who achieve the most understand that consistency is far more important. Success doesn't come from doing things perfectly once in a while. It comes from doing the right things consistently over time. Consistency creates momentum. When you take small, repeated actions, you build progress bit by bit. Each step may seem insignificant in the moment, but over time, those small efforts compound, leading to significant results. This is the power of compound growth, the idea that small, consistent actions accumulate and lead to exponential growth. Whether you're building a business, mastering a skill, or improving your health, the secret is to stay consistent, even when the results aren't immediately visible. One of the reasons consistency is so powerful is that it establishes habits. Habits are the automated actions that drive much of your behavior. When you do something consistently, it becomes ingrained in your routine, requiring less mental effort. Over time, what was once a conscious decision becomes second nature. This is why consistency is often described as the key to building discipline. When you make a habit out of doing the right things, you no longer have to rely on willpower to stay on track. The more consistent you are, the more automatic your actions become, and the easier it is to maintain your progress. Consistency also builds trust with yourself. When you consistently take action, you begin to trust your ability to follow through on your commitments. This self-trust is critical for long-term success because it builds confidence. You prove to yourself that you can set a goal and stick with it, even when it's difficult. Each time you honor your commitments, you reinforce your belief in your ability to succeed. This positive feedback loop where consistent action leads to increased confidence, which in turn leads to more consistent action, creates an upward spiral of growth. It's important to note that consistency doesn't mean perfection. Many people fall into the trap of thinking they need to be perfect in their efforts, and when they slip up, they give up entirely. But the real key to consistency is persistence, not perfection. There will be setbacks, missed days, and mistakes along the way. What matters is that you get back on track and continue moving forward. Success is not about never falling, it's about always getting back up. When you understand that consistency is about progress, not perfection, you can approach your goals with more resilience and determination. Consistency also builds resilience. When you show up consistently, you train yourself to push through discomfort and challenges. It's easy to take action when you're feeling motivated or when things are going smoothly. But what happens when motivation fades or when obstacles arise? This is where consistency becomes a game changer. By committing to regular action, no matter how you feel, you develop mental toughness. You learn to keep going even when it's difficult, which builds the kind of resilience that's essential for achieving long-term success. Over time, this resilience becomes one of your greatest assets, allowing you to weather setbacks and continue progressing toward your goal. Another reason consistency leads to results is that it allows for continuous improvement. When you take consistent action, you create opportunities for learning and growth. Every time you take a step toward your goal, you gain feedback. You see what works, what doesn't, and what can be improved. This feedback loop is critical for refining your approach and getting better over time. The more consistent you are, the more data you have to work with, and the more opportunities you have to adjust and improve. In this way, consistency allows for incremental progress. Each time you act, you get a little better, a little smarter, and a little smarter, and a little closer to your goal. Consistency also allows you to build momentum in a way that sporadic effort simply can't. Momentum is the force that keeps you moving once you've started. It's the feeling of progress that comes from taking repeated actions. When you take consistent action, even small steps forward create a sense of movement. This momentum is incredibly powerful because it makes it easier to keep going. The hardest part of any goal is often getting started, but once you've built momentum, the effort required to maintain it decreases. Consistency is what keeps that momentum alive, making it easier to stay on course. In the same way that consistency builds momentum, it also creates discipline. Discipline is not about forcing yourself to take massive action all at once. It's about committing to small, manageable actions consistently. Discipline doesn't mean you need to be rigid or harsh with yourself. It simply means that you prioritize your goals and follow through on the actions that support them. Over time, consistent discipline builds mastery.
It allows you to steadily improve and reach levels of achievement that wouldn't be possible with erratic effort.
One of the most significant challenges people face when pursuing a goal is staying patient when they don't see immediate results. We live in a society that values instant gratification, and it's easy to become frustrated when progress feels slow. But consistency requires a long-term mindset. It asks you to trust the process and believe that your efforts will pay off, even if the results are not immediately visible. This kind of patience is essential because most meaningful goals take time to achieve. If you give up too soon, you never give yourself the chance to see the results of your hard work. But if you stay consistent, those results eventually come. Consistency is also about adaptability. As you take consistent action, you'll inevitably encounter new challenges, information, or opportunities that require you to adjust your approach. Being consistent doesn't mean rigidly sticking to one plan, no matter what it means staying committed to the goal while being flexible in your methods. This adaptability is crucial because success is rarely a straight path. The ability to adjust while staying consistent ensures that you can navigate obstacles and continue progressing toward your objective. It's important to understand that consistency doesn't just apply to big, life-changing actions. It's often the small, seemingly insignificant actions that, when repeated over time, lead to the biggest results. Whether it's making a habit of exercising daily, setting aside time for learning, or consistently working on a personal project, these small actions compound and lead to major breakthroughs. People often underestimate the power of small, consistent actions because they're looking for dramatic overnight results. But true success is built on the foundation of steady, consistent effort over time. Consistency also creates a sense of reliability, both in your personal and professional life. When you are consistent, people know they can count on you. Whether it's in a business relationship, a personal goal, or a commitment to yourself, consistency builds trust. Others begin to trust you because you follow through, and more importantly, you begin to trust yourself. This trust is essential for building strong relationships, maintaining credibility, and creating opportunities for growth. Ultimately, consistency is about making progress, no matter how small, every single day. It's about showing up, putting in the work, and doing what's necessary to move forward. Consistency compounds, and over time, it leads to massive results. Even when you don't see immediate progress, the effects of your consistent actions are accumulating beneath the surface, preparing to break through in a way that often feels sudden, but is the result of steady, persistent effort. This is why consistency equals results. It's the quiet, steady force that pushes you towards your goals, day by day, action by action. Success isn't about sudden leaps, it's about relentless, unwavering commitment to progress. The power of consistency lies in its ability to transform ordinary efforts into extraordinary results over time. When you embrace consistency, you tap into the most reliable and sustainable path to success. In the end, the path to transforming your life is built on a foundation of mindset shifts, breaking limiting beliefs, taking massive action, and harnessing the power of emotion to fuel your journey. Consistency, more than any moment of inspiration or burst of energy, is the real driver of success. When you commit to showing up every day, pushing past fear and investing in your growth with steady effort, you build momentum, resilience, and mastery over time. This isn't about quick fixes or shortcuts. It's about adopting a way of living that aligns with the future you want to create. Your beliefs shape your reality, and your actions carve the path to your success. When you break free from limiting thoughts, take bold steps toward your goals, and let your emotions drive you in the right direction, you tap into an unstoppable force within yourself. Remember that progress doesn't come in giant leaps. It comes through small, consistent actions repeated daily with unwavering focus and commitment. Embrace the process, trust the journey, and know that every step you take brings you closer to the life you've always wanted.
Change your mindset, break your barriers, take massive action, and stay consistent. In time, you will see that the life you envision is not only possible, it's inevitable.